milestones, controversial 3 stars of the week, and are the Preds candidates for the first overall pick? Hello, and welcome back to the Pucked Up Podcast. I am Chris, and joined with me as always are two lovely ladies, Dee and Danger, and our special guest, the return of the fabulous Gosmal.
Yay!
Very happy to have
Be
Mal
back for this new
Yeah.
season. Very exciting stuff.
Yes, season
Well,
3, baby.
As someone who's viewed, what do you think of the new lovely overlay this year?
Yes.
I mean, new season, new overlay, new little logo in the top on either side. I don't
One
know which side of the
side,
screen
yeah.
There you
I'm
go,
oriented
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we're bringing it. You guys are bringing it hot this year, and it's awesome. I love it.
I know. Well, it's hard to step it up from last year because it was so good, but Danger fucking killed it this year.
Knocked it out of the park.
It's so good.
Yeah.
This is awesome because this is the first time that Danger and Maul have been together on the show.
Yes.
Obviously, we're
Yeah.
super grateful for Maul last year being able to fill in while Danger
Absolutely.
had stuff going on. But we got the whole group today.
The whole crew, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exciting. And I think I mentioned last week, Mal is a good friend and like someone I adore. So it's not like I've never met Mal before.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited to have him here.
Mm.
Can you not?
As I bite a
You
hangnail,
wanna say
sorry,
hi to
don't
Mal
mind me.
too?
Maul is going to be hanging out with us from time to time this season as well, so this is not the only time you'll see him. How about we're recording this on the second Frozen Frenzy? For those that aren't aware of what that means, every single NHL team is playing today. Obviously, this will be out on a Friday, so it'll have already happened, but it's pretty cool. I have a game going on. I'm pretty sure Dee is watching a game. I think Danger might be watching a game as well.
I just checked
She
the
is
score.
indeed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was
All
like
of
trying
us.
to remember what else I needed to pull up on my monitor. Like,
Well, I have the
something
game
else.
schedule up if we're curious.
Yeah, if you want to list off the games, there's 16 of them, right?
Yep, there's a metric fuck ton of games. So starting us off was actually the Washington Capitals versus the Philadelphia Flyers at 6 p.m. At 6:30, it is the Wild versus the Panthers. At 6:45, it's the Lightning versus the Devils. At 7, it's Stars at Sabres. 7:15, Rangers at Canadiens. 7:30, Maple Leafs at Blue Jackets. 7:45, Red Wings at Islanders. 8 is Jets at Blues. 8:15 is Canucks at Blackhawks. 8:30 is Avalanche at Seattle. 8:45 is Bruins at Predators. 9 is Hurricanes at Oilers. 9:15 is Senators at Utah Hockey Club. 9:45 is Penguins at Flames. 10:15 is Sharks at Ducks. And then rounding it out at 11 with the Kings at the Vegas Golden Knights. So that is the full slate of games. Several of the games are going to be on ESPN Plus exclusively, or ESPN. That whole network situation is very confusing. And then everything else is on other shit, basically.
Yeah, obviously, if you have ESPN Plus, barring you living in market, all games should be available over there, as well as I think there's 5 games three that'll be on ESPN today, like big stream ESPN. So yeah. Good luck to everyone's teams. Hopefully everyone's teams gets the dub. I know we should have no problem beating the Sharks because the Sharks haven't won any games, and we've actually looked pretty good so far to start the year. So, let's start it off with how we always do with Dee and some PWHL updates.
Yes, we do have an update. Actually, some very cool news coming out of the PWHL. For the first time ever, Canada has participated in the Harris poll, which is a poll by the Stagwell Agency that is a global consulting and marketing research firm that provides the insights needed to build a better tomorrow. Founded in 1956, the Harris Poll is one of the longest-running surveys in the U.S., tracking public opinion, motivations, and social sentiments. Each year, millions of people are polled on trends that are shaping the modern world. The Harris Poll was introduced into Canada in 2024 and launched along with the inaugural CB Harris Poll 50 in Canada study. Now, with that, they polled 5,507 adult Canadians above the age of 18 from August 2nd to August 15, and it was designed to measure their perception of 50 of the most visible companies according to the Trusted Reputation Quotient, or RQ, framework, which is based on 9 dimensions of reputation that generate an RQ score, which determines an overall ranking. From that, the PWHL ranked number 1 out of all Canadian brands, and I believe, let me see. Oh no, go away. I can tell you that the next most popular was Toyota, actually.
Okay.
So those are some of the, Visa's on there, Google, Samsung, Microsoft, Apple, Lululemon, who we're going to talk about later. The PWHL ranked higher than Tim Hortons, which any of you Canadian followers will know that's
That is
something.
insane.
Yeah.
Now, question: is that Tim Hortons the coffee brand or Tim Horton the player?
Tim Hortons,
Well,
the coffee brand.
Damn.
Tim
That's
Tim
like-
Horton, the hockey player, is the reason that Tim
Mhm.
Hortons exists.
I know that
He
'cause when
started
you
that
work there, they
company.
make you do
Yeah.
Really?
a history
Yeah.
lesson on him.
I think I knew that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he started the company.
Are you
Yeah.
fucking kidding me?
No, you really did.
No, not you. It's blacked out for me.
Um,
Oh no.
Oh yeah, because it's in market.
Yeah.
yeah, if you
Yeah,
work at Tim
because they want me to
Hortons,
pay $20 a month.
that's
Yeah, fuck.
disgusting. Step 1 of working at Tim Hortons is doing a history lesson and learning about him.
That's so funny.
Mhm.
I mean, at
And-
least you're doing that though, because
I-
you should know who
We
the
had a Tim Hortons
founder
for like
is.
a month
Shit.
Yeah.
when I first moved up here, and then it became a Chipotle.
which
Yeah.
is
Sucks.
crazy because, like, in Canada, Tim
Oh, they're
Hortons
all
is
over.
so popular that it
Yeah.
pushed Dunkin' Donuts out of the country.
It is
Yeah.
the Dunkin' Donuts of Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their rival up there is Starbucks. That's it.
Ugh.
Right.
And
So
Shout
yeah,
out-
so
Shout out to Tim
crazy.
Horton. 1,446 career games played, 115 goals,
Right on.
403 assists, 1,611 penalty minutes.
there you go.
Played almost his entire career with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Also spent time with the Penguins, the Rangers, and the last couple years of his career were with the Buffalo Sabres.
So, speaking of that, though, is that's kind of where the PWHL ran away with things, was in that character dimension category, because they inspire such goodwill in fans with, inspiring young athletes. They were the highest ranked on that, which is really what put them above everybody else. But it also led on the trajectory dimensions, which is vision and growth. So people in Canada thought that the PWHL has great vision, and that they are expecting to see a lot of growth, which is why they're put up there. So I believe Jana Hefford, who is the PWHL Senior Vice President of Hockey Operations, said, "Earning the top spot in the Harris Poll is a remarkable recognition of the passion and dedication from our fans. It's a tribute to our incredible athletes who showcase the best women's hockey in the world. This honor also reflects the commitment of our talented staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes as we look ahead to Season 2 starting on November 30th. We're grateful for the support that's brought us here, and we are committed to building that foundation." So that is the update about the PWHL, and kudos to them for, in their first ever season, ranking number 1 in a top consumer poll for reliability and overall confidence.
That is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've mentioned how often we champion that league since its
all the time.
inception, and it is
Mhm.
a permanent fixture at the top of every single podcast episode. So I love the trajectory, and they need to keep it going because
Agreed.
more hockey is good hockey.
That's right.
Yes. If you're going to use that PWHL, you do have to credit us and give us some money. You're welcome.
I
I
mean,
also
and
think
we'll
that it's a. Go ahead.
we'll gladly let you guys use it. We'll just
Yeah.
let us hang
Just
out.
pay us.
Let us be a part of what you got going on, and we're
Let's
in.
go to a game.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I
I just
had a
think that
blast.
it's cool because it's like it's a huge testament to how much people wanted women's hockey, you know,
Yeah.
and how supportive people are to be like, it's about damn time, you know.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
and
Now if we can
think.
absolutely.
get now if we can
Sorry, go
get
ahead.
more women's sports,
Right.
At
To be
least
know?
and
as
at least
well
bigger, yeah.
received. Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome to watch the WNBA finals on like ABC. That was
Yep.
cool. Shout out to the New York Liberty, for winning their first ever championship.
Although
I ha-
controversial win.
It was a controversial win for sure.
Yeah.
And the fact that the PWHL first year sold out the Bell Center, which for those that aren't aware, well, it holds 21,105 people.
Yeah.
First season they sold that out. How many
Mhm.
NHL arenas
That's
did they sell out?
wild.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
all of the ones that they went to were sold out.
Well, the
Yeah.
first one was crazy when they went to Minnesota and sold that
Yeah.
fucking place out.
Yeah,
Everyone
that
was
one
like,
Yeah.
they had
whoa.
13,000
Mhm.
something. I don't think it was technically a sellout that first game, but they had. I mean, it was the most of any game at that point.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't think it was a sellout for the Excel Center. But I used to know the exact number that it would be to sell out the Excel Center because I used to say it like the first 10 years when they had sold out every game.
Yeah.
It was because that's why we're the team of 18,000. It was like 18,861 or something.
Yeah.
And I know now it's gotten up a bit for standing room seats and stuff.
Which is cool. I like that a lot more arenas are adding standing room
Yeah,
ability
yeah, it
because
is nice.
I mean, as much as buildings have a capacity, you want as many fans as you can to come in and experience what you're doing live,
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's
Yeah,
Well, and by
but you-
doing the stand-in seats, it allows people who can't afford the $300 seats.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I mean, I live in Boston territory where you have to donate a kidney to go
God.
to a sports game.
Yeah.
That's
Legitimately.
the reality of
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
at least here it's you just have to, donate a kidney to buy a beer.
Right.
Yeah, well, the garden charges $18 fucking dollars for a beer. So
Yeah.
Ours, I think,
Yeah, I
are
think it's like
14.
$6 for a
Six-
bottle of
six-
water. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
it's
Yeah.
fucking absurd. Shout out to Utah Hockey Club for their cheap ass
Yes.
prices, bro.
For like, yeah, it's
I-
like $2 for a bottle of water. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is heaven.
Fucking
$4
morons get
for
it.
nachos.
Wonderful.
My grandma learned early on that Budweiser always did a designated driver thing, and if you signed up to be the designated driver that night, you got a free bottle of water.
Oh, nice.
So she'd take herself to the games,
And
go
get a free
down
bottle of
and
water.
sign up for that, and get her free bottle of water.
What a
There
legend.
you go.
Like,
But, nobody
Like-
was gonna argue with her. She's fucking in her 80s, but
Yeah.
it made
think
me
about
laugh.
it with how cheap tickets are, or not tickets, but the food prices, and I guess that tickets are to like the Utah Hockey Club. It would almost be cheaper for me to fly there from
Yeah,
Maine
oh, yeah.
It'd be cheaper for you
watch
to
a
fly
game.
there, yeah.
than drive 2 hours south
To
to go
Yeah.
watch a game in Boston.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I know. That shit's crazy.
I
Yeah,
do
I
at some
know.
point want to go to a wild game in another state. That's one thing I've never done. My
Yeah.
aunt or my cousin and grandma went to Winnipeg for a postseason game a few years ago. Ended up coming home in a blizzard.
Oh my God.
Well,
But Winnipeg is like 6 or 7 hours from here,
which isn't
It's not that
terrible.
bad.
Well, we all still
I
need
was
to do what we
surprised
talked
they drove
about
back that
and
game.
meet up at a random
Somewhere,
game
yeah.
and just go to some
Yeah.
game somewhere.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah.
You know where
Well,
would
Dee
probably be
was
really
supposed-
cheap for us to do that? Aside from, I feel like
Utah?
logistically going to Utah is more expensive for some of us.
Right.
But honestly, Ohio
yeah.
Going to
wouldn't
a
be
Blue
that bad
Jackets
for
game?
most of us. Yeah.
That'd
And
be
I
cool.
don't think that their ticket prices are all that crazy because they.
No, because they
No,
suck.
because
Okay.
I looked, or Matt mislooked at tickets. Keep Up the Wild were in town last season, and said, and he's
Mhm.
like, tickets are $30, Mom. I'm like, yeah, they're in Ohio.
Yeah.
We could all chip in for like, you know,
Airfare and
tickets
Get an
and
stuff.
stuff and
Airbnb.
Well, and
airfare.
honestly,
Yeah,
Ohio from Omaha wouldn't be that bad.
no,
I could
yeah. I
drive
mean,
that.
Eventually,
I
you
think
guys will
it's
have to
like a
come up to the TD Garden because it's such a wild arena.
Yeah.
Because
oh
Yeah.
god,
underneath the arena is a music hall, a whole bunch of restaurants, a train station, a
yeah.
grocery store, and then 7 levels of parking garages all below it.
Wow.
So you could take the T
Wow.
right into right into the garden. Oh well, the
Mhm.
biggest thing is good luck driving around Boston because it is a fucking nightmare.
Uber.
Yeah,
Have someone else
literally.
do it.
It is the worst city I've ever been to for traffic because the roads make no fucking sense.
They're like all over the
So
place.
I just on a whim, I did go look up what a Columbus Blue Jackets ticket would look like. I picked two random teams, the Seattle Kraken versus Columbus, and we could get tickets in that section along the wall for $74
A piece?
Like on the glass seats?
on the glass.
What?
$74.
Holy
Cheap.
shit.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
god.
I gotta see Bruin tickets
I
on the
mean, so
glass.
it's not right on the glass, but it's like 4 or 5 rows behind the glass
Yeah.
for
Columbus,
74
Ohio.
dollars.
We might
We're
be
gonna
in
be in
your
your
city
city.
some point soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was big milestones the other
Mhm.
day in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Evgeny Malkin, who is the 48th player in NHL history to reach 500 goals. Anyone want to take a guess at who had the assist on that goal?
Oh, I think Mr. Sidney Cross.
That would be correct. It was
Yeah.
Sidney
The one he
Crosby.
wanted,
Yeah.
which we talked
Who,
about last week.
I was going to say, who is no stranger to milestones himself,
Mhm.
because with a 2-assist game, Sidney Crosby is the 10th player in NHL history to have reached 1,600 career points.
Wow.
Insane.
I think I think the fact that it was not only was it Sid that assisted Gino for his 500th, but the fact that Gino is the one who assisted Sid when he hit 500.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's poetic to two best friends that have done everything together in their
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's crazy to think about those numbers and the realization that Evgeny Malkin is third on the Penguins all-time goals list.
Mhm.
Behind Sidney Crosby and Mario Lemieux.
Oh.
Which is, I mean, he's one of the top 5 greatest ever.
Right.
So, you know.
He is
But
in a lot of the top lists for sure.
oh yeah, he's easily number 2 on my list. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about a big
Well, I
night
think
for
it's
both
great.
those guys? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's cool that they could support each other hitting the milestones and that they could kind of like do it together, because
Yeah.
that's a special bond that they're gonna have forever, and
Mhm.
it's cool to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it just speaks to I mean, what we've all talked about is that that team has been together for forever. And it
Yeah.
makes it special when you get to do those kinds of milestones with people who've been your teammates for a long time, but also your friends as well.
Mhm.
And I just think that's really
Absolutely.
special.
Yeah.
Like, I think what would
Yeah,
have
I
made it
think
more
it's great.
special is if Letang had somehow gotten involved, maybe with like a secondary assist. Because like we talked
Yeah.
about last week, they've played their entire careers together.
Yeah.
Which is not something a lot of players can say.
Yeah.
That's a huge milestone. So and
Yep.
they ended up, I believe they ended up winning that game in overtime.
I think so.
Because I was watching it with my dad, because my dad's a Penguins fan.
Fuck the Penguins.
But
Had to get it
yeah,
in there.
Shout out your dad, but fuck the Penguins.
I
Tell
know.
your dad
I,
Penguins.
my dad doesn't have any quarrels with the Wild, but I'm probably gonna be, you know,
Starting one. Hey,
no.
I'm holding a 30-some-year-old, well, almost 30-year-old grudge. That's why I hate the Penguins so much. So
Fair.
fuck the Penguins.
At least okay, but like at least I could see why D would have a problem.
I mean,
Yeah,
canonically, I have to have a problem.
my dad's gonna freak the fuck out when he sees a Capitals hat.
I don't know why you think that's what's coming in the mail. Nothing
I
would tell you
mean,
that.
knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised if it were something different. Uh,
Please tell me you got him like the fuzzy onesie.
Oh
That's
God, no, I
just.
wish.
I want one of the wild ones so
I'd
bad, but they're like
wear the shit
$90.
out of that though.
I know, but
Oh, that'd
the
be
wild ones are $90.
yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like I
Um,
can't afford that.
yeah, I can't afford that shit. Switching
True.
gears to Dee's signature uh segment on the show, the 3 stars of the week.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I'm gonna have some thoughts. I'm gonna go over the 3 stars, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end. So prepare for a little bit of heat coming at the NHL. All right, this one I fully agree with. Starting
At my
with our third
expense.
star, Philip Gustafson, goalie of the Minnesota Wild.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
He became the 15th goaltender in NHL history to score a goal. We love a goalie goal. We've said it once, we'll say it a million times. Love a goalie
Facts.
goal.
Love a goalie
Uh,
goal. Love
yeah,
that Fleury told him to go out and just go ahead and try it.
do
He
it.
was a little
Yeah,
nervous about it. Fleury was like, "Nah, man, do it. We're up by
yeah,
2. You see the chance, you got to take it." And he said
yep,
that gave him the confidence to do it.
It was a
yeah. So
beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot.
It was a great shot.
he's
Great
only the
celebration
third.
afterwards.
He's
Sorry.
only the third goalie to do it on a power play as well. So that's an even cooler stat for Gustafson to add to his line.
Right.
Not only 15th to do it, period, but third to do it in such a limited setting. He went 2-0-0 with 1.0 goals against average and a .962 save percentage to guide the Wild. Wow, 3-0-2 to a pair of wins. He turned aside 27 out of 28 shots before becoming the first goaltender in franchise history to get a goal as part of the 4-1
Yep.
victory over the St. Louis Blues. Gustafson then made 23 saves on 24 shots, coming 1 minute and 25 seconds shy of a shutout and a 3-1 triumph against the Columbus Blue Jackets. The 26-year-old Gustafson, who improved to a 3-0-1 stat line through 4 games in the 2024-2025 season, places among the early season league leaders with a minimum of 3 games played and goals against average. He's 4th with 1.49, save percentage 4th with .950, and wins tied for 4th with 3. He owns a 55-40-15 record and 115 career NHL appearances. So yay, goalie goal.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And it is amazing that it took 24 years for us to get a franchise goalie goal.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
Like,
it's a special thing.
It is, but we've had some
Yeah.
good goalies.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
again, it's that different type of play that we've talked about before and we'll talk about again next week, I think. But a lot of the Eastern goalies don't take those kinds of chances like the American and Canadian goalies do.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think, and we've had a lot of, Eastern European goalies
Yeah.
Yeah,
on
you
our
have.
team.
So, yeah. For our second star, we have Artemi Panarin. Wow. Butchered that. For our second
Panarin.
star, we have Artemi Panarin. I guess I was trying to be somebody else. I don't know. Artemi
I don't know who you're
Panarin.
talking about.
Yeah.
Stealing
Our
my
left
shit.
winger out of New York, the New York Rangers. Panarin finished second in the league with 4 goals and 4 assists in 3 games to extend his season-opening point streak to 5 games and propel the Rangers to a perfect week. Panarin recorded 3 helpers in his 37th career assist performance and 27th since joining the New York Rangers in 2009-2010, and a 4-1 triumph over the Detroit Red Wings He then became the first player in Rangers history to begin a season with 4 consecutive multi-point games, notching 3 goals and 1 assist, highlighted by his 8th career hat trick, and a 5-2 victory against the Red Wings on October 17th. Panarin potted another goal again in a 4-1 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs to maintain his early position atop the 2024-2025 Art Ross Trophy race. The 32-year-old, who set a career high and ranked 4th in the league with 49 goals and 71 assists in the 2023-2024 season, places 5th with 271 goals, 522 assists, and 677 games since making his debut in 2015 and 2016. Next, we have our first star of the week, which is Sam Reinhart, a center out of Florida Panthers. Reinhart led the NHL with 4 goals and 5 assists and a +7 rating in 4 games to lift the defending Stanley Cup champion Panthers to a 3-0-1 week as they moved into their first place in the Atlantic Division. He opened the week with a pair of go-ahead goals, 1 on the power play and 1 shorthanded, in a 4-3 victory against the Boston Bruins. Reinhart then registered 1 goal and 2 assists, including the go-ahead goal and assist on the eventual game winner, and a 4-3 triumph of the Columbus Blue Jackets. He added 1 helper in a 3-2 overtime loss to the Vancouver Canucks before collecting 3 more points, a goal and 2 assists, highlighted by assists on the tying goal in the third period, as well as the overtime winner in a 4-3 victory against the Vegas Golden Knights. The 28-year-old signed an 8-year contract with Florida this offseason after ranking 2nd in the league with a career high of 57 goals. He has found the score sheet in 6 of his 7 appearances thus far to place 2nd in the NHL with 5 goals and 7 assists. Now, I'm happy for everyone on this list, but I do feel as though the NHL has snubbed somebody that they often treat with anger, and that is Tom Wilson.
Can't imagine why the NHL would
look
at Tom Wilson in a negative light.
He's gotten better. Everyone says so. He has gotten better.
It's true. Everyone says.
It's true. Everyone says it. When we're talking about these stats, it's important to note he has scored in all of the 4 games he's played, because the Caps have not played very many games so far. He has scored goals in every single one of them, including he scored 2 in last night's game. He is on a 5-goal streak in 4 games. He is now tied for first for people to do that in Washington Capitals franchise history, as having scored in every opening or every game since the season opened. He also has had assists and other shit too. That doesn't really matter. The point here is, normally in any other week, I think we would see that that he would be somewhat applauded for those efforts. But that didn't happen this week. And I don't know if it didn't happen because he's Tom Wilson and they're not going to put him on a 3 stars list, knowing that people would friggin' have a hissy. Or if it's because they would have put him in the spot where the goalie goal was and they figured a goalie goal is cooler. I don't know. Either way, I'm kind of like, you could have given him a little nod. That's impressive, especially for a guy
an honorary something. I'm right with you in that he deserved to be on the list. It's hard because I also think Gus did, being that it's his first career goalie goal. It's the first franchise goalie goal.
See, and this is where I think that he could have replaced Panarin, honestly, because yes, it's impressive what Panarin did, but I think someone who is at that kind of play previously, it's like, okay, great, you're performing to standard. This is this guy's first time getting this. You know what I mean? His first time being this dominant, and propelling our team to a pretty decent record so far. So I think that is what needed to have been acknowledged.
A couple of really important players for you guys. He's had to step up even more so.
Yep. Because we're just 3-1. We lost our opening game, but of the games that Tom played last week, he is part of the reason why we won every single one of those.
Yeah.
So just saying.
I feel like
could have been
Gus
in there.
Is only on here because of the goalie goal, and that's fine because it's such a huge accomplishment, you know. And I like Gustafsson as a goalie. I think he's a good
Yeah.
goaltender. But I could see where it would be because of the goalie goal, um, which
I
is what it
mean,
is.
he also did have he
He had a
won both of his
great couple,
games. He
great
had a
couple
shutout.
games.
Yeah.
Um,
But I'm just
but
saying, Tommy Boy should have been up there.
You know what though?
That's
Let
it.
him use that as motivation to continue pushing and to continue
Yeah.
driving like he has been. And you know, you didn't get it this week, get it next week.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
and if you don't get it next week, get it the following week. Like, don't
Bob
let
is
your foot off the
not
gas
having a good night.
because you
Yeah.
didn't get the star. You know, like
Right.
keep fighting for it and prove to people that you deserve it. And
Yeah.
that not only do you deserve it, but you earned it. That way, there, even if he gets put on the list, no one can
Mhm.
complain about it because, you know, he put
Yeah.
out. He deserved it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
we like players that put out.
We do like.
Yeah,
players
we
that come
do.
out.
I mean, even with Sam
And I don't
Reinhart,
think.
what?
I'm trying to check and see if Tom's even gotten any penalties this week because
Yeah.
I don't think he has. I don't think he's gotten any
I
penalties
just
so
happened
far
to
this
look up
season.
and see him on his ass like a minute or two ago. So I was like, oh,
Okay, he did. He
I'm
did
gonna
get
die.
one penalty. He had to go in for a 2-minute. He was assessed 2-minute penalty. Okay.
I mean, Sam Reinhart has 25 fantasy points already this year. So
Yeah.
like him being up top is not a question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can definitely see your point for sure.
Yep.
Maul,
And I will
I don't know
also
if
just add to that stat line real quick. Yes, he had 2 penalty minutes, but he had 5 goals, 1 assist, including 1 game-winning goal, which was the overtime goal as well. So, even more impressive of a week that he had. Just saying.
yeah. Maul, do you want to take any topics so you feel like you're included?
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
I had said you
enjoying
could take
time.
the Predators thing from me because I talk a lot for the injuries, so I'm fine with giving that up. I will. You're back.
No, I'm good.
Also,
I kind of like
my
just
boy
putting Steve
Zuki
back
just
in.
got his 4th goal.
Did he?
Yeah, on a power play.
Nice.
Kind of fucking him up.
Yeah. If you look in the I put it in the fantasy hockey chat. The website that I used to use, that's what's on it now
Oh,
when you go there.
Yeah, seized by
Yeah.
Homeland.
I'm like, God damn
That's
it.
crazy.
I was like, no.
What site did you used to use?
Streameast.io. It used to have everything from
Yeah.
UFC to NASCAR. You could literally see anything at any time, and it had like a 5-minute delay,
Oh,
which
Ouch.
wasn't the
No
end
big
of the
deal.
world. Just stay off
Yeah.
social media and you're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty hurtful.
I mean, you only have to stay off social media until the end of at the end of the game.
Yeah.
During like the first 2 periods, you're fine. Oh.
I was so pissed I fell asleep Friday night watching the Ducks game.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing to fucking Colorado in overtime, and I was so pissed when I woke up. Jake goes, "How did the game end?" I was like, "I don't know, I fell asleep." And then I look at my phone, I was like, "Fuck." He goes, "Did they lose?" I was
Talking to
like,
me.
yeah. In fucking
Yeah.
overtime.
Yeah, it's tough for you because all of your games are so fucking late.
10 p.m.
Yeah.
It was never a
that
problem
sucks.
before. I worked nights. I could stay up however fucking long I want. Now I'm like
True.
trying to go to bed before 1 a.m.
Yeah. Heaven
Which never
forbid you go
happens.
into overtime for sure.
I know, it never happens.
When you walk into a room and forget why you walked in there.
That shit
I feel
all the time.
that.
I've been doing that shit for years.
My
Alright.
whole life. God damn it. I took Zibanejad out of the lineup today because he'd been playing like ass, and of course, that's when he gets 2.2 points.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna win
I
this
know
week. I'm feeling it.
Matt is missing out on points right now because he's got Jack Hughes on the bench, and Jack has a goal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now
Yeah, so does Mika.
1.1 points. I'm doing good.
The night is still young, Maul. It
I
is
know.
still young.
I only have 2 people that are in games right now, and JT and Miller is day to day, and I can't friggin' switch them out because I don't have any more forwards. Or my forward Strom is already playing, so I can't switch him out.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Oh well.
That's right. I mean, Dave and Drew are facing off, and it's 0.5 to 0.2.
I just know Dave is so pissed because he's lost both weeks. I just know he's mad.
Yeah, I don't see
I
Dave
don't
winning a
think
lot of
he
games.
really.
I don't think
he
he's like
hasn't mentioned
seriously
it
mad,
much.
but
Yeah,
I know that
Yeah.
he's just like son of a bitch.
because he just wanted to be so good at it, and I don't think
Yeah.
he's gonna win a lot of games this year.
He might. I think he'll change up his strategy. I think we'll see him making some moves, but we'll see.
I mean, trades are always open, you guys. I do kind of have everyone.
I mean, not everyone. You and I, Chris, are neck for neck.
The fact, dude, our teams are so disgustingly stacked.
Yeah. They really are.
It's not even fair.
Yeah. We'll see.
You know, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see what happens.
Yeah.
All right,
But we are pretty
moving-
close point wise, you and I.
I would say it's like super tight.
Yeah. Sorry. Listening to PK in the background.
Fucking PK.
Yeah, we're like 15 points off from each other
We are.
over the course
Yeah.
of 3 weeks. Is pretty close, all things considered.
So something we definitely want to talk about, and Danger, I'll let you start this off. What the fuck is going on in Nashville right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think they were just maybe really scared about the hurricane or something, even though they let the Florida people practice there, right?
No, it was
No, it was
Hurricanes,
No,
but
that was Carolina. Never
close
mind.
enough.
Yeah.
It's Nashville's right there.
They also were really scared about it. That's what I'm going with. Now, the Nashville Predators are currently at the bottom of the Central Division standings with a record of 0-5.
Yowza.
Let me, just for the funsies of it,
They
let
have
me.
a goal differential of -13.
Yeah.
They've given up 23 goals while only scoring 10.
And only 7 of those have been at even strength.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I was trying to see what time they play
9
tonight.
Yeah.
So they're not playing tonight.
9:30.
No, they are playing tonight.
No, they are, but they're not playing yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Tonight. Yeah. Because I was just going to see if they were.
They play at 8:45 against the Bruins.
Okay.
So the lose streak continues.
I mean, looking that way.
I mean,
Yeah.
Boston's technically at 500, so they've lost 3 games.
They've
I
also
mean-
allowed 5 empty net goals, which is the most in the league. Yeah, and they're only having 7 even strength goals is also the second worst in the league. So they're not ranking high in the categories they need to be ranking high in, statistically speaking.
Start. I mean,
Yeah.
do we think this is like part of this is due to Stamkos and Marchessault joining in the team and the lack
Yes.
of chemistry? Do we think that that's going to hurt?
So I wouldn't say that it's a lack of chemistry across the board, because obviously we know that Stamkos and Marchessault have great chemistry with each other, and you got
Yeah.
Roman Josi in there too, who also great. I think that it is one of those things where the team hasn't yet decided that whether or not they're going to just shuffle all the pucks to 1 or 2 people and expect them to do the work of 5 people, or if they're all going to be active participants. Because that's the thing is that like Stamkos, Yossi, and Marchessault still have been generating chances. They just have either had bad puck luck, or it just isn't panning out for them for some other reason. So I do think that it is. I think it's a team thing that they haven't gelled yet. But I don't think that that's because of the stars on the team. I don't think it's them dictating anything. I just think that they haven't found a system that works for having 3 major stars and other people not being sure what to do with that.
Well, I mean, their top 6 is fucking wild. I mean, your top
Yeah.
line is Ryan O'Reilly, Gustav Nyquist, and Philip Forsberg. Your second line is Colton Sissons, Jonathan Marchessault, and Steven Stamkos. Like, those are 6 players who have no problem generating offense.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they're A, not generating offense, and B, they can't even get out of their own fucking way at this point is
Right.
crazy to me. Like, even their defense lines, they should have no problem here.
I think what I would love to see is I would love to see them shake it up. I know Stamkos and Marchessault are best buds and doing great, but I think maybe they do need to spread the wealth across a couple of lines. Because I think when you have too much firepower on one line in some systems, right? Because this is just a generalization. I think it creates bigger problems. I don't know. I think they need to spread it out. I think they need to give each other more opportunity to take lead in a meaningful way, but not have to carry the whole burden, if that makes sense.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, and I it's wild too because when you think of top 10 goaltenders, you think UC Soros because
Yeah.
he's been great. And we were praising them last season as well for their hot streak at the end of the season that really
Yep.
pushed them into the playoffs. I don't know. What do you guys think the remedy needs to be? What do you think they need to do to turn the season around?
Get taped together in the middle of the rink, and they have to figure it the fuck out themselves.
Mighty Ducks
Mighty
style.
Duck
Bombay
style.
style.
Yeah.
Yes.
They all have to wear one giant hoodie and learn to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you get Tex out there with his lasso.
Yep. Tie them all fucking together.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's a going back, like, break them down to the basics and build it back up as a team. I don't know. I don't know if
Mhm.
it's because I don't think just coaching changes and stuff like that's going to be the answer for them.
Right.
I think that that's what's going to end up happening if they don't start winning, but I
Mhm.
don't think that's going to be their solution.
No.
Long term, anyway, or like short term, I should say.
Right. Right.
I think they could do what Ovechkin did last season and ride a camel. That seemed to break his slump.
That he
Maybe-
figured it the fuck out real
all
fast
need to
after
You know,
Yeah.
he rode
I
a
was gonna
camel.
say they
Camel
could
expedition.
like, you know, a team building exercise, and then in my head,
Ride a camel.
this is how my brain works. It involves a bus. We always call it the syphilis bus. Then they
Yeah,
all
we
end
don't-
up with syphilis, and then they just won't have a team. So that may not be the best of ideas there. But yeah, I don't know. Something's got to
Well,
give for them.
with 5 games into an 82 game season, do you think we're getting close to time for the Predators to hit the panic button?
No, I think that
Yeah,
there's still
I
time
wouldn't
in the
say.
season. I mean, um, it's hard to tell, but 82 games and they're only 5 in. I'm not worried about it because we've seen other teams have shitty starts and turnaround.
Edmonton.
Right.
You know,
Edmonton started horribly last season and made the Cup Finals.
right?
Yeah.
I think that the biggest thing is they just have to review the footage,
Yeah.
see where they're having all the errors.
Yeah.
And again, this is gonna be probably like my catchphrase of every time I'm on this show. Go back to the basics.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, like last week I watched the season opener for my local ECHL team, and they couldn't pass worth a shit. And I'm like, what are you guys
Mhm.
doing?
Yeah.
like, I mean, I can't really say much because obviously I'm not on the ice playing for them. But as someone who's looking from the outside in, it's like you guys aren't even passing. Like,
Yeah.
isn't this basic drills that you guys should know?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I've said it 1,000 times. I'll always say it. Go back to the basics. Set up
Yeah.
plays. Find ways to chip away at their defense. You
Mm-hmm.
know, play in a way that you can get some penalties on the other team, so you can set up power plays and learn how to capitalize on them.
Yeah, I mean, it's mind-blowing to me. When you look at their stats for the team, can anyone take a guess at what the highest number of points is for a player?
Like this
2.
season,
For the what's the high? What do you think the highest points number is for a Predators player this season so far?
2.
I'll go Wheel of Fortune. I'll say 3.
What do you think, Danger?
I'll go the opposite way. I'll say 1.
Philip Forsberg is your points leader on the team with 5 points.
Wow,
should've gone
that's
4.
way more
Ryan
than I
O'Reilly has
expected.
4. Marchessault has 4.
Ryan O'Reilly.
Yossi has 3. Steven
That was a lot
Stamkos
more
has
aggressive than
1
that.
fucking point.
Yeah.
One goal. He has a plus minus of -6. That means your
Mhm.
second line is giving up a shit ton of goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or you're giving a ton up on the on penalty kill. Which
Yeah.
is I agree with Maul in the sense that I don't think it's time to hit the panic button. We are 5
No.
games into the
No.
season.
No, I don't think to
But
panic,
No.
but I think something like they need to be having some serious conversations.
for
Agreed.
sure, you need to be aware of, hey, what are we
Their
doing
GM
to
needs to be in
fix
there
this
kicking their ass.
really fast so we're not 2 months from now hitting the All-Star break like what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you can suck in October, but you do not want to
No.
suck in February.
No.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
that's the real kicker. But I mean, we're looking to turn it around, and or we're looking to see them turn it around, and it's wild to look at the opposite end of the spectrum in the Central. The Winnipeg Jets are 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
They have a plus minus of +16. They have given up 8 goals.
That's nothing.
They've scored 24.
Yeah.
Like,
Would not have seen it
it's
coming, to be honest with you, that Winnipeg was going to come out
they stepped up
this
massive from
strong.
last year, and last year they were
Yeah.
strong, but holy shit, that's a start.
But this is now. It's can they sustain it though? Right.
I mean, who's your points leader?
That's a
Scheifele,
brutal
8
pace
points,
for 82
5
games.
goals. I mean, Ehlers has 7 points. Josh Morrissey
Yeah.
has 7 points. Neil Pionk has 6. Like Kyle Connor, Nemesnikov's on here in the top 5. Like they are picking up where they left off at the end of the regular season last year. Because I mean,
Yeah.
they crashed hard in the postseason. I mean, they all but got swept in the
Right.
postseason.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me to see Nashville start off this way. It's crazy to me to also see the Calgary Flames are undefeated in regulation, and Colorado Avalanche are 2-4 to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to be in for a wild season.
Yeah, I agree.
Before we move on to our question of the week, shout out to Stanley Cup champion coach Paul Maurice, we could say that, who just inked a multi-year extension with the Florida Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
He has had a record of 98, 58, and 15 since becoming the head coach of the Panthers in 2022. Obviously, finally claiming that elusive Stanley Cup that he had been trying for so long. There aren't really any details on the extension itself yet because it's still only been news for about 3 hours now since the time of recording. But big ups to Paul, man. I don't think there was anyone unhappy with that unless you're an Edmonton fan, I'm pretty sure all hockey fans were really excited to see Paul when he finally was able to lift that cup.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
shout
not
out
very
to
happy tonight, though, I will just say that.
yeah, they're getting fucked up right now.
I mean,
Yeah.
I am mad at it.
Zook just scored again. So we have Eriksson
Did he?
and Zook both have scored 2 goals tonight,
That's crazy.
Nice.
which is phenomenal.
Big ups to Paul Maurice, big ups to the Florida Panthers
Yeah.
for sure. Switching gears to our question of the week. It was announced that Hockey Fights Cancer, the main sponsor, will be AstraZeneca. The question is, should the NHL allow companies such as AstraZeneca to be main sponsor for nights like Hockey Fights Cancer? More broadly, should there be restrictions around who can be the primary in general and who they try to stay away from? Danger, we'll start with you.
You know, I initially had a different feeling prior to kind of doing a little bit of research to where I wasn't really a huge, super big fan of it initially because I hate having names like that tied to something that is supposed to just be a charitable thing. Like having
Right.
a corporation like AstraZeneca, who has come into the media so largely since COVID, sponsor it. Like that just kind of feels like, you know, you're playing favorites almost in a sense, instead of it just being Hockey Fights Cancer and then the money goes to cancer research and charities and whatever. Doing a little bit of research though, I might be changing my mind because first of all, the Hat Trick Challenge is back, and AstraZeneca is donating $3,000 to the Hockey Fights Cancer Fund of the V Foundation for every hat trick scored throughout the regular season, with their goal of donating $300,000. And to date, AstraZeneca has also donated $500,000 to the Hockey Fights Cancer Fund. So like that, I mean, that's a huge goal to have, a total of what they've already donated with the 5 and then a 3, so $800,000 just going straight into those charities that I was talking about, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
I just don't know that I like the logos and the like everything having AstraZeneca on it. It's like I hate this one doesn't have it, but like some of our Wild jerseys have the Tria patch on it because Tria is a big, you know, sponsor of the team. I hate those because it's like it's personal preference, I guess. Some people might like it. So it's like if I bought something, like I usually buy the Love Your Melon usually does a hat for Hockey Fights Cancer. And I have been the last couple of years I've gotten that. And I don't want the Hockey Fights Cancer patch and AstraZeneca on it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Right.
And I think sorry, we just scored again.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I think so. My problem is a couple of things. One, they're the presenting partner, which means that their name has to be shouted from the mountaintops. I don't like the idea of presenting partners being people like AstraZeneca, who is one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, when we are in the United States in the middle of a medical care crisis with how expensive. And this hits really close to home for me right now. Having a family member that's currently battling cancer and knowing exactly how expensive these fucking drugs are. I think while it's great that their goal is to hopefully donate $800,000, do you know how much they make? $800,000 is fucking nothing to them.
Right.
And yet they're going to have their name and their logo plastered over everything for weeks. Because this Hockey Fights Cancer campaign, and they're going to get a ton of goodwill from it.
So
but they won't actually be doing that much.
I did see somewhere too that it's not a blanket advertisement anymore. So they don't get to put their name on everything. It sounds like teams may be able to, or on a different level, they get to decide how it is. I can't find where I had seen that. But I agree with you on that, because like with my grandpa having had cancer, you know,
So I
it's
just know that
hard.
with it being Hockey Fights Cancer, or with it being the Frozen Frenzy tonight, because of AstraZeneca's sponsorship of it, their name is on the broadcast on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
Because they're the primary sponsor. And so that's what I am kind of like, I just don't love that. I don't love that. Obviously we want pharmaceutical companies to be involved in helping us find a cure for cancer. That is what literally everybody wants, is just a cure for that one fucking thing.
Right.
And I want them to have all the necessary resources and everything to do that. I think that them trying to step in against something like this, I personally find tasteless, just because I know how much money their fucking CEO makes. And it's like when you compare how much he takes home in a year compared to what they're donating to NHL for Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Meanwhile, they're using players who have lost their mom to cancer to promote it. I don't like it. I really have a problem with it. But I also have a problem with these kinds of advertisements in general. I think that the NHL will let anybody be a fucking sponsor, regardless of their track history and regardless of whether or not it's something we should be peddling towards kids. I've forever stayed on the fact that I think BetMGM should have no fucking place in sports. Gambling is so fucking addictive, and them just talking about how everything is like, oh, well, you can parlay on this and blah, blah, blah. I think we're introducing it in a way that it does not need to be in sports, to kids and to people who are otherwise like easily susceptible to that kind of messaging. I don't think that they should be primary sponsors. I don't think that, even to some extent, you know, things like TikTok being the sponsorship for the Washington Capitals and having a big ass patch, I think that it can be problematic too, given a bunch of variety of factors. So
Yeah.
I wish that the NHL would better vet it and would have a bigger process for teams to say like, hey, I get that you want to make that buck and make that bag. However, you need to be really mindful about what the message is that you're sending, because I think that we're not always sending the right ones, especially since we're in a season right now where this is the first year where players aren't are actually going to get paid out, and we're going to be able to go back to the collective bargaining agreement and potentially talk about cap increases and stuff like that, because during the pandemic, there's a whole great video which we'll repost on our TikTok about how payouts work in the NHL, and because so much of it is based on attendance in the arenas, and we were shut down for 2.5 years with COVID, nobody was getting paid out, which means that we couldn't raise cap space and things like that. And now we can, and we're going to see a huge boon to players because of that. And I just think that we're focusing a lot on the money of it, of getting these sponsorships and getting this and getting that. And it's not actually giving anything to the fans, and it's not actually giving anything to the players. Now, if AstraZeneca were to have come in and been like, hey, you know, we want to be a part of it, let's do a promotion where we give every member on the team and their family free cancer screenings. And they don't have to disclose whether or not anything was found. Let's just advertise that we're giving free cancer screenings, and the first 100 fans to show up at, you know, X arena gets it, right? That I would have been more for, because that is a direct benefit to the fans. And while absolutely giving $3,000 for each hat trick throughout the season to go to the V Foundation absolutely helps the V Foundation, I don't think it's doing enough, and I don't think it's I think it's just performative.
Okay.
And that was a really long rant, and I'm sorry.
I'll
No,
be
you know
honest,
what?
I
That's
I
fair.
wholeheartedly agree with you. You know, I used to work at a very large corporate financial institution, and that $800,000 that they're donating, that's a tax write-off for them. That's to get in the good
Right.
grace
No,
of other people. And it's like, I get like the message is there, like it's nice to give back and, you know, raise awareness and stuff like that. But I also agree with the fact that, you know, why can't they provide stuff like a free screening? Like, hey, because like a lot of the times when they promotions like this, AstraZeneca could be like, hey, if you donate $5 to the charity or $10 to the charity, we'll provide you a voucher to go get a free cancer.
Hmm.
So that way,
Yeah.
so you're raising money, but you're also encouraging people for a very cheap price to go get a cancer screening, and I mean, and that could also be looked as beneficial for them in the long run too, because if you go and you find out that you have cancer with the early detection that they have, guess what? Now you're a customer of theirs. So
Yeah.
it kind of comes full circle. Um, recently one of the local stadiums in Maine just sold out to a medical company, and they're changing the name of it, and that breaks my heart because it's losing its, you know, close to home. It's kind of like if Fenway changed its name because Sitco finally bought them out.
Yeah.
I was gonna
You
say
know,
because they have the giant Sitco sign
yeah,
out in
and
left
it's
field
yep. Now imagine if it got changed to Sitco
or
Stadium
right
or
field.
Sitco Park or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
behind
You
the
know,
monster.
it hurts that the corporate greed of these franchises are letting it kind of lose its message.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, AstraZeneca may do wonderful things. I don't know much about it because thankfully in the last recent years I haven't really been exposed to cancer. So I'm very, knock on wood, thankful that everyone in my immediate circle is staying healthy for the most part. Um, so I don't want to go into like a rant on what they are doing and could be doing.
Hmm.
Um, but I just think that with the size of the company, it's kind of your responsibility to do more,
Hmm.
and use that as a way to give back to people. So I agree that I think that you know it can be seen as distasteful, and if you want to sponsor it and be part of it, awesome. But don't
Yeah.
expect to have your logo placed on something because like Danger was saying, I don't want to buy something
Right.
Yeah.
for this event and have a pharmaceutical logo on it. I'll be taking my thread rippers and ripping the shit off.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't like that hockey jerseys or any sport jerseys are now starting to get covered with advertisements. Like, for the love of God, these aren't NASCAR jackets. We don't
Yeah.
care who sponsors you.
Right.
No offense to NASCAR. I want to buy team merch because I want team merch.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll
So
say, like, I'm looking at some of their merch stuff, and I haven't seen AstraZeneca on anything thus far
awesome. I love that because
in
Yeah.
their shop.
that doesn't take away from
Doesn't
the
mean that it's
message.
not there, but
Right.
Yeah. I expect we
So
will eventually see it once we actually
I'm
get to our Hockey Fights Cancer nights.
right.
But we haven't seen those, at least for my team, we
Well,
haven't
and
seen
it's
those
like,
designs hit the market yet.
yeah, and I think like for anything that's given to fans for free, I I understand that that's going to have that logo on it. And that's fine with me because you're not shelling out your money to have that big logo on there, you know?
Hmm.
And as it should have their logo on if they're getting it for free. Like if
Right,
you go to
like
like
cuz
the
that
venue
company
and
is
they give you
paying to
a
make that.
bobblehead or something,
Right.
Right.
you expect that, and that's just something that's there. But going out and buying the merch and getting their
Yeah.
logo,
Yeah.
no.
6 billion for anyone who wants to know AstraZeneca's yearly income. $6 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
So when you talk about 800,000, that is
Well, but
legitimately
that's not
a grain of rice to them.
right.
Yeah.
And that's not saying that that's all that they are going to donate, number 1.
Right.
That's not saying that that's but my point of bringing up that amount was that's also money that we wouldn't get without AstraZeneca.
Correct. I
So,
agree
like
with both sides here. I
Mhm.
very much so agree with
Like, I'm not
everything that D
for
said,
it
but
all
I
the
get
way,
where
you know what I
Danger's
mean?
coming from. I do absolutely, because
Yeah.
while yes, a company like AstraZeneca has the responsibility to do more, I think the fact that they are even doing anything at all is better than nothing, because at the end of the day, they
Right.
could be doing fuck all and
But
just be
see,
like, here's this and that. like I'm understanding what you're saying, and I agree with for sure, but there is also that silver lining of at least, I don't want to say like at least they're doing something, but it
So
is in terms something.
here's my thing though. Last year they were the first corporate sponsor for Hockey Fights Cancer. And that's all it was the first corporate sponsor, and they donated a ton of money, and that was great and good. This year they are the presenting sponsor, which
Yeah.
is different. And I have an issue when they come in as the presenting sponsor, because that is where I think we're talking about sending a message that maybe doesn't need to be sent. As presenting sponsor, it is going to be AstraZeneca
Oh,
presents Hockey Fights Cancer Night.
Yeah.
AstraZeneca presents such and such and such and such. And so they're constantly throwing their name out there. They should be getting involved, and they previously have, and I'm grateful to them for that. 800,000 or 800, yeah, 800,000 being a possibility is great. And if it goes above that, even better. I'm not saying that I don't want their money. I'm saying I think they need to be more responsible with it being an obvious fucking marketing tactic, is my
Right.
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with either side of this. As I will say, as a racing fan and as a soccer fan, I'm very accustomed to rocking corporate logos. I mean, I have an Ally Insurance hat that is just
Yeah.
to represent my favorite NASCAR driver. Like it's just
Mhm.
like I'm so used to that. So for me, I don't even think about it. As someone who works in the marketing side of things now, I can understand why teams and all of that are moving forward with jersey sponsors and helmet sponsors and stuff. I get it. I can agree with the fact that I'm kind of on the same side of, there are some sports that I'm kind of not, like I'm just not probably going to get used to, and I probably will after a few years. I just won't even think about it. But like seeing it on an NHL jersey is a little weird. Seeing it on a batting helmet in the MLB is a little weird to me. But a company like AstraZeneca, and that's, we're stepping into very large territory for a league that up until the last 15 years was kind of forgotten about.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is a big deal for the NHL. In the sense of eyes are on them for in a way that they've never been before. More and
Mhm.
more people are talking about the NHL, and hockey is becoming cool. Um, I think
Yeah.
I think that it's a it's a weird conversation to have because you never expected to have it.
Right.
Um, I mean, like 10 years ago, if you had told me that Amazon Prime is going to be broadcasting games, you'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold on. Amazon's getting involved with the NHL? Like, I wouldn't have thought about it. Like, in the sense of now. But I think this leads the way for other big corporations to maybe come in and participate in the NHL in a little more ways. Um, I feel like it makes it hard that the first real presenting sponsor like this happens to be the largest pharmaceutical country, like, or the largest pharmaceutical company, I'd arguably in the world. I
Mhm.
mean, they're right up there with Pfizer and all that. So it's tough. It's tough, especially with something as important to hockey fans as Hockey Fights Cancer Night.
Yeah.
Um, it's important to all of us in our own ways. So, but like my another big thing here for me is I love that the V Foundation is involved. For those that
Yeah.
aren't familiar,
Absolutely.
uh, Coach Jim Valvano, who was a college basketball coach, passed away from cancer. Um, at a very young age. I believe he was only 46. Um, So that is a foundation that ESPN and just about every college and professional sports league in the United States works with at some point. So I think that that's a big deal. I I hope that there is enough fan comments that AstraZeneca sees it and goes, you know what, we can do a little more. I think we can do more.
Mhm.
That's my hope. I don't know what the future holds. Just like, we can all just hope that this is a positive step in the right direction for not only cancer research but the NHL as a whole, and the NHL's charitable like events and all the things that they've been putting forth in the past couple years. Um
I agree.
Switching gears to something maybe a little more lighthearted. Um Danger, do we
Maybe.
have any naughty boys?
We do. We have one naughty boy. We have a fine for Oliver Ekman Larson from the Toronto Maple Leafs for interference against Jake Gensel on the 22nd, which was today.
The 22nd.
The 22nd.
Oh, the
It
date
was
of
yesterday it
innocence was
happened.
yesterday. Sorry.
Yeah.
Date of action. I messed up my comments. Interesting part was he got the full fine, or I believe the full fine amount of $5,000 as a penalty.
Yep.
So, that no new suspensions as of yet, though.
That's good. Although, with how today is going, maybe we'll end up seeing some.
There's a good.
We might.
There are 16 different opportunities for someone
Yeah.
to fuck up tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have that, and then going into our sick and injured boys. We are going to do also any like new players and then any updates on players. So it might be a little bit longer than last week, but we thought it was fair to give updates as we've found out more information. So did some digging around on the internet to try to find out info on some of them. So I'll share that with you. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Don't blame me, blame my sources. But for Anaheim, we have Isaac Lundstrom, who is out with an upper body injury listed as day-to-day. Frank Veterano. I'm on the wrong list. Hold on. I mean, it should be the same, but it's not.
I feel like Vetrano played the other day.
He may have, but he's still awaiting the birth of his child.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, so it may just be iffy on if maybe his wife is having contractions or not having, like, who knows. Ryan Strom is out with an illness listed as day-to-day. And the new one here is, the update on John Gibson. He's on IR, expected to be out until at least October 26th. He had an appendectomy.
It was an emergency appendectomy, too.
Yeah.
Like, his appendix burst and shit. It was real not good.
Yeah. So he did have successful surgery on it. He will travel with the team for their matchup against the Rangers, per my sources.
Because we've had Dostal in net, and we signed James Reimer in once all that went down. So we've had a couple, but we are desperately missing Gibby. And I'm really glad he's okay, because that was a very concerning thing to get a notification for. And it was like, shit. All right. But yeah, he's okay.
When you hear it, something like thankful.
That.
Yeah. For Boston, we have Alec, Regula. Update on him. He's got a knee injury. He's now on IR, expected to be out until at least October 29th. For Buffalo, updates on Nicholas Abe-Kubel on IR, expected to be out until at least the 26th of October with the lower body injury. And Zach Benson, also with the lower body injury, expected to be out until the 26th. For Calgary, we have Igor Serganovich. Yep.
Yeah.
Lower body injury on IR. Expected. I've had too many hard ciders to try to say that name correctly. On IR, expected to be out until at least October 28th now. Kevin Rooney, previously it was undisclosed. My digging dug up that he has a concussion. He is
That'll
on
do it.
IR, expected to be out until at least October 28th. So not a terrible one, it sounds like, but still a concussion. And then we have Samuel Honzik, upper body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least October 30th. For the Carolina Hurricanes, update on Riley Stillman on IR, expected to be out until at least October 24th with a lower body injury. For Chicago, we have Artem Levshunov, foot injury on IR, expected to be out until at least October 31st. Laurent Brossard, knee injury. He had a meniscus repair. So he is on IR, expected to be out until at least October 31st. Then we have Alec Martinez with a groin injury on IR, expected to be out until at least October 26th.
Those are the worst because you want to talk about immobilizing yourself. Any sort of groin
Yeah.
injury, walking
Yeah.
is a pain. Like sitting is painful. It's I don't wish groin injuries on anyone. That shit's brutal.
That's one of those injuries where you don't realize how much you use a certain muscle
Or how many
area
muscles
of your
are
body
involved.
Yeah.
until it hurts, and you're like, "Oh my god, why does my toe feel weird?" And you're like, "Wait, I injured my groin." And then
Yeah, it's connected to
Yeah.
like everything.
Oh, yeah. Everything is connected. I learned that in massage school, but yeah, it's amazing what and
I
like
learned it
how
from
many
that kindergarten
muscles.
song. Knee bone's connected to your neck bone or whatever.
Bone. Yep.
Yeah.
If your knee bone is connected to your neck bone, then you are a fucking alien.
Maybe I just
that
learned the
too.
wrong song. I don't know.
For Colorado, we have updates on Jonathan Drouin. He is out with an upper body injury on IR, expected to be out now until October 28th. Gabriel Landeskog has an update on that knee injury. On IR, expected to be out until at least November 2nd.
Can't wait to see him back on the ice. It's been 2 years.
I know.
Yeah.
So the team announced last season that he needed that cartilage transplant surgery and would miss the entire season. Landeskog continues to rehabilitate that knee. Unclear when he could return to the ice, but they're hoping, obviously, that it'll be soon if they're thinking early November. And Arturi Lenkinen, shoulder, he had surgery on that shoulder on IR, expected to be out until at least October 28th. For Columbus, Eric Gudbranson had successful shoulder surgery. He is listed as on IR, expected to be out until at least December 23rd. And then we have a new injury for Kent Johnson. Upper body, expected to be out until at least November 2nd. No injuries or updates, really, for Dallas. For Detroit, we have a new injury with Tyler Mott. Upper body, he is listed as day-to-day. Tim Gettinger, undisclosed on IR, expected to be out until at least November 2nd. Thought I had more on him, but maybe I don't. I'm lying to myself. Okay. No new or updated injuries for Edmonton. For Florida, we have Jonah Godovich. Back injury expected to be out until at least October 24th. And an update on Alexander Barkov with that lower body injury. He's now expected to be out until at least November 1st. He did have that injury that happened on October 9th, and it was thought that he'd be ready to come back in 2 to 3 weeks. Paul Maurice did say that he hopes he'll be back in time for the Global Series in Finland. So, fingers crossed for them. And me, because I think he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I think I told you to pick him up because I was like, I don't know the fuck
Yeah.
is a free agent.
Yeah. Justin Sardiff, undisclosed on IR, expected to be out until at least October 28th. For the Los Angeles Kings, Darcy Kemper is out with a lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least October 24th. For the Minnesota Wild, we have Ryan Hartman. Upper body injury expected to be out until at least October 24th. And then Jared Spurgeon, lower body injury expected to be out until at least October 26th now, which is an update there. I had 2 lists going, and I'm pretty sure I fucked my life up with it. So, For Montreal, we have Caden Gooley. Upper body injury expected to be out until at least October 26th. And Slevlowski, I can't say his first name. Shoulder injury expected to be out until at least October 29th. And as of today, it says he'll be reevaluated next week on when they expect him to return.
Uri Slavkovsky is an absurd name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is an absurd name.
I just, like I said, I've had a headache all day, so I've been drinking hard cider since like noon.
Because fuck it.
Yeah, I didn't have to go anywhere today. Because DoorDash exists. No new injuries for Nashville. For New Jersey, we have updates on Tobias Velen. Upper body injury expected now to be out until November 1st. He is on IR. Luke Hughes on IR, expected to be out until at least October 24th with that shoulder injury. And Brett Pesci on IR, expected to be out until at least October 24th, and found out today he has a fractured fibula.
Ooh.
Yikes.
For the Islanders, we have Anthony Duclair, who's out with a leg injury, expected to be out until at least November 19th. For the Rangers, we have Alexis Lafreniere. Sure. Upper body injury, he is listed as day-to-day. For Ottawa, we have David Perron, personal, listed as day-to-day. Linus Ullmark update on his strain, expected to be out until at least October 25th. Update on Ridley Grieg, upper body injury listed now as day-to-day. And Artem Zub with that concussion, expected to be out until at least October 25th, which I think is better than what we were thinking before with that concussion. For Philadelphia, we have Scott Lawton, who's out for personal reasons, listed as day-to-day. Blake Lizotte for Pittsburgh is out with a concussion on IR, expected to be out until at least October 29th. For San Jose, we have Mark-Edward Vlasic with that back injury on IR, expected to be out until at least October 29th. And an update on Macklin Celebrini, lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least November 5th. And this, apparently he injured that in training camp, and it's bothered him since the start of the year. So they're just kind of giving him time to heal. For Seattle, we have Vince Dunn, upper body injury on IR, expected to be out now until November 12th. For St. Louis, Oscar Sundqvist with that knee injury on IR, expected to be out until at least October 24th. He has been cleared for contact, but is not currently ready to return to the lineup. Lou Korak of NHL.com reported. Alexei Torpenchenko, lower body injury, expected to be out until at least October 24th. And Nick Leddy, lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least October 24th. For Toronto, we have Joseph Woll, another groin injury on IR, expected to be out until at least October 22nd.
And he's a
for
goalie.
Utah?
That's the worst place for that's the worst
Right?
injury for a
Yeah.
goalie.
For Utah, we have John Marino, upper body injury on IR, expected to be out now until December 18th. So that is significantly longer than what we were thinking last time, if I remember correctly. Nick Bugstad on IR, expected to be out until at least October 26th. And Sean Dursey on IR, expected to be out until at least February 22nd. So 2 big updates on those guys. For Vancouver, we have Thatcher Demko update. On IR, expected to be out until at least November 17th. Still dealing with that knee injury that he got in Game 1 of the playoffs last year. He wasn't able to return at all at any point in the postseason. But looks like he will be back soon because he hasn't played at all yet this season.
That's good news because we weren't sure if he was going to play this season. So
Yeah.
that's really good news.
And who knows if they'll update it before, it might be a month-to-month update thing. JT Miller up for undisclosed, listed as day to day.
JT Miller's playing
Derek
right now.
Fortfort, expected to be out until at least October 26th. Per covers.com, Fortfort they said left the team. I took that to be like he left the team. No, he stepped away from the team for personal reasons. Fix your wording, people. And Dakota Joshua, who has what was initially listed as a groin injury, and then I did some digging because he's missed the start to the season. It was found out he has testicular cancer. But he is expected to make his season debut in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So we just want to wish him the best. I'm hoping that means, he hadn't played since like May or June, whatever. I'm assuming that means he found out in the off season and has had that time to get his treatment. If they're thinking he'll play that quick, so hopefully, that means he is or will be cancer free very shortly here.
Yeah.
But what a huge thing to find out. I mean, I think this kid's like 22 something.
He's
that
28,
might be a lie.
But still.
Okay. Yeah, like still super young. So wishing him the absolute best and quick.
Looks like he found out in September.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So all the best to Dakota. But
if you do, because I'm trying to think, and I don't know if the chemo regimen's the same, but like Grandpa did chemo once a week for 6 weeks.
He might not have needed chemo because it might have been with where it was. It might have been that they just cut some things away, and he was ready to rock and roll after the recovery from being under the knife.
Yeah, pull a Lance Armstrong and
come back and win the Tour de France 7 times. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Just to find out that you cheated.
Yeah, let's not be cheating there, Dakota.
Dakota, stay away from the EPO. Like, do not fuck with EPO.
For Vegas, we have William Karlsson update. On IR, expected to be out until at least October 25th. So the source I had said he might return Friday, which is the 25th. And Victor Olofsson, lower body injury. Expected to be out until at least October 28th, but he is in another source listed as week to week. And for Washington, an update on Matt Roy. Sorry, we figured that out last week.
Yeah.
Is it Wah?
Yeah.
Okay. Lower body injury expected to be out until at least October 23rd. So it's just an update on time frame. But other than that, that's all I have.
I did figure out that David Perron is away due to him and his wife expecting their 3rd child.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wish they would just say that.
I know.
Right. That's such a happy thing.
Birth.
Yeah. So scandalous when they're like for personal reasons. You're like, ooh, what's that?
Right.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Right.
I can
who's in jail?
Yeah. I can confirm with Vancouver though that JT Miller is playing.
Okay.
Because he just scored a goal. That's how I know. I'm watching the Canucks and Blackhawks right now. They must be having broadcast malfunctions because they don't even have a scoreboard.
Very well may have missed that list and didn't delete it.
It was a game time decision from what it looked like. So yeah.
Yeah, same with Lafreniere. I believe he is playing as well.
I think Lafreniere is playing tonight.
Decision.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at this at like 1:30.
Yeah.
So
that's all right. That's what
things change.
But I get trying to prep, huh? Fuckers. Sorry, that was aggressive.
That was fun. So switching gears to something that we can all talk about, we wrapped up week 2 of the Pucked Up Fantasy Hockey League. The scores for week 2, myself faced off against Drew. I won 141.1 to 99.9. I periodically messaged Drew throughout the week, and I was like, homie, I'm so fucking sorry. Danger faced off against Wes. Danger won 116 to 89.3. Gordon Bombay, aka Danger Son Matt, faced off against Marcello. Matt won 100.7 to 92.4.
For
Uh,
boy.
D faced off against John and beat John 111.3 to 95.7. And the best game of the week, fantasy wise, was Maul faced off against Dave. And Maul came out on top 87.5 to 80.8. So that one
Close
came
game.
down pretty close.
Yeah.
Maul's always on top when it's Dave is considered.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I'll take it.
spicy.
I'll take it all day. Just to be able to beat Dave. I'll take my wins where I get them. Damn it.
So as the standings go right now, the Eastern Conference is led by myself at 2-0. And the Western Conference is led by Danger, who is 2-0, meaning we're the only two teams that are undefeated.
Not you said danger. It's me.
No,
D.
D.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna
D.
say I
Yeah.
lost my first
Did I
game.
say Danger?
Yeah, you did.
D.
I was like,
Yep,
rude.
so
it's me and
D,
you,
so
Chris.
D and I
'Cause
are
we're in
the
a
only
Senate
undefeated
competition.
teams.
Yeah, because D kicked my ass.
You
Yeah.
know, the
I
problem
did.
is, out of all of this, I feel like D and I are going to be the ones who are the most fucking competitive because we are easily the
Yeah.
most competitive people out of the group.
Just that exists. Yeah.
But we're former
I-
athletes, so like
Necessarily,
our
'cause I get
competitive
super
feeling never
competitive,
died.
but I get super quiet competitive. Like
There we
I'm
go.
not a shit talker. Like I'm especially when I'm losing. Like
Yeah.
I'm 0 and like 6 or 1 in 6 in my fantasy football league. But to be fair, I also haven't done a whole lot.
Well, at least
fair.
none of the people on this podcast are 0 and 2.
I know it is
There's that.
currently Marcello and Dave. Oof.
Those are
Current
good.
Oh my god,
matchups.
do I really
Current
want to move?
matchups this week. I know that's gonna be brutal.
I tried to convince him to wait to join the league. I tried.
Current matchups is I'm facing off against Matt. Matt is beating the shit out of me right now. 21.4 to 8.9. You know the problem? All of my players play after 9 o'clock.
See, there you go.
Dave is facing off against Drew. Marcello is playing Wes. Danger is playing John, and D is playing against Maul.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Wes has
I'm coming for
negative
you, D.
3 points.
-3. He's on a roll right now.
Yeah, Wes is
it's
struggling.
Wes having a real hard time, and I feel real
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it's due to goaltending.
Mhm.
Who's his goalie? Sorokin is in net for him. Or no, I'm sorry, it's not Sorokin. Jake Allen is in net for him, and Jake Allen has given up
Oof.
6 fucking goals. He is at a minus 7.2.
It's
That
okay.
is
I had to
rough.
make sure I didn't have Florida's goalie, which I don't like. He's not
Bobrovsky?
even on my team. Yeah,
Bob's getting.
I thought
Bob's
I
getting
had
bitch
him.
slapped.
Well, he got pulled
Yeah.
for like I think they said the second game in a row.
Which is
Yeah,
crazy because Bob is usually rock
Yeah,
steady.
Bob is great. Like,
Who has Bob? Oh, Dave has Bob. Woof. Bob has negative 7.8 points. Holy shit. I mean,
maybe
Yeah.
that's why I thought I had him because I'm pretty sure I told Dave to pick him up
that's no better
or
than
to draft him.
Drew has Sam
Yeah.
Motembo, who has given up 5 goals to the Rangers right now. And I told him to fucking drop Motembo. I was like, bro, Freddie Anderson is an available free agent. You need to get rid of Motembo and pick up Freddie.
I'm just surprised
And
that
he
we're
didn't.
doing this well against the fucking Stanley Cup champs.
They're
Like-
having a very off day. Holy shit.
They're having a really rough day.
Brutal.
But we've in I think past like it's been a pretty close 50-50 with Florida
Yeah.
with us. Like maybe this
I've
will be a
only-
good omen for our road trips.
I have only given up one and a half points from my bench. That's it. So that's not bad. But dude, fucking Matt is whipping my ass.
Yeah.
Be
Ooh.
ready for some shit talk from him
Hey,
then.
you know
'cause
what? I am
he
here for the
likes to
shit
talk
talking.
shit.
I am here for
He
that
likes,
because it'll
yeah,
be
but
fun.
he's 15, almost 16. He doesn't need to be talking shit to adults.
That's all right. It's all in fun.
Is Chris
all
really
in
an adult though?
Bitch, I will kill you where you stand.
You'd have to come visit me first.
And I'm
so
older than
yes,
you. The
please?
fuck?
Are you?
Yes.
How
I'm
old are
almost
you,
positive
Mal?
I'm older than you.
Are you?
What year were you born, Mal?
94?
Yeah, I'm 2 years
Oh
older
my
than
god,
you.
you're my sister's age.
Damn, you're ancient.
Fuck you.
I'm
No, I want Matt to talk shit because if I start
I'm
beating the
11
shit out
years
of him
older
later
than
in the
you.
week, I'm
12
gonna be
years older
like,
than you.
bro.
Me? Really?
No, that's a lie. 9 years older than you.
That makes
I
sense
was born
because
in 86.
Dave's old.
Yeah.
than me.
Dave
I was
is
born the same
old.
year as Dave.
Period.
We're
End of
both 38.
sentence.
Old.
We're both 38.
You're not. I mean, 8 years? Because I'm 30.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm
But did you
6
just turn
years.
30? Like this year?
Almost a month ago.
Okay. But yeah, so it's because my sister was born in December of 95 and she'll be 29 this year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm older than her by 14 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
yeah, it's
Thanks for
It'll
my
be a
daily
fun
reminder
week.
that I'm old as fuck.
Right.
Can't get through a recording without it happening.
That's
Usually
listen,
from
that's-
myself too, because I'll say or do something and I'm like, man, I'm fucking 38 years old. What am I talking about?
I know that is how it fucking goes. Moving to our final segment of the show, we're rounding it out with the obscure NHL player of the week. I gotta add the horn. It's a thing now.
Yeah, you
it
have
has
to.
to be a thing. We have decided on the theme this year. The theme is all-time leading, or was it leaders in penalty minutes of franchises. So whoever's team had their leader or their all-time penalty minute leader for each franchise will be featured. We're gonna make it a guessing game. We are gonna see who can guess them right each week. So without Googling them, you guys can't Google them. That's unfair. Going this week is Bob Probert. Can we guess what team Bob Probert is the leader for?
I think he played for Vancouver, but I don't think he's the leader for.
Does he currently
the
play?
Canucks. No.
No,
Okay.
these are old players.
Mm. Can we
Is
get
he
the
the
year he
from the
played?
North Stars? Because last week you said you were going to pick a North Stars player.
He is not from the North Stars.
And you lied.
I think he
Liar.
was actually said he was going to
Liar,
pick
liar, pants on fire.
which I
Chris
know
is a
who that
ginger
is.
and a liar.
I think he's
Wow.
from the Ducks because that's Chris's favorite team.
That would be incorrect.
Chris is going to go with
Uh,
something
He's
random.
from the Penguins.
Because
No,
they suck.
you only get one guess each.
You never said that.
You didn't tell me that.
One guess each. One guess each. He
Well, I already
is the
made mine. I said
all-time
Vancouver.
incorrect. He is the all-time
Detroit.
franchise leader in the Detroit Red Wings for
I definitely
penalty
didn't
minutes.
just Google it.
You 100% just did.
Why would you ask me such a thing?
2,090 career penalty minutes just with the Red Wings. Let's go back up to where we were. He was born 1965 in Windsor, Ontario, was drafted 46th overall in the 1983 draft by the Detroit Red Wings, where he spent a majority of his career. He ended his career with 7 seasons in Chicago. 935 games played, 163 goals, 221 assists, and 3,300 career penalty minutes. 81 appearances in the playoffs, 16 goals, 32 assists, and 274 penalty minutes. Sadly, in 2010, Probert passed away from a heart attack during a severe heat wave while boating on Lake St. Clair with his children and his
Oh my
family.
god.
Um, it is it is very, very unfortunate, but the list of legends
Yeah.
that showed up to his services is insane.
I'm
Dino
sure.
Cicerelli, Ty Domi, Chris Nealon, Gerard Gallant, Doug Gilmore, Stu Grimson, like the list goes on, but like Steve Eiserman, like greats. So that's how important this guy was to not only the Detroit Red Wings organization, but hockey at that point. Um, but yeah, he was also uh, I believe he made a cameo in the Mike Myers 2008 movie The Love Guru.
Oh my god, I remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Do you think
Oh my
that they all
god.
showed up to his funeral because they were scared that he'd whoop their ass to get more
Get
penalty
punched
minutes?
on. Yeah.
I hope
Probably.
so,
Well, they all
man.
probably
I fucking
knew.
hope so.
Yeah, they all probably fucking knew.
They're like, oh, if I don't show up, he'll whoop my ass. So I guess
For
we'll go to a
real.
funeral.
I mean, he enjoyed a pretty nice career.
Yeah.
His NHL career started in '85 and it ended in 2002. So I mean,
Wow.
almost
Long
he
career.
was, yeah. I mean, he was about 75 games short of 1,000. So
Wow.
if he had played one more season, he probably would have hit 1,000. But your name is not forgotten, Bob. We remember you as the all-time penalty minutes leader in franchise history for the Detroit Red Wings. And you, sir, are our obscure NHL player of the week.
There you go.
I think that is a beautiful time to end. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you are new around here and you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Let you know anytime we upload anything. If you're listening to us on Spotify or any other podcasting platform, please give us a follow. Give us a review and a rating. Whichever rating you think is best. We hope it's 5 stars. If you guys aren't checking out our TikTok content, we're posting daily things that are not included in the show, and it'll soon to be on all our podcast or all our social media platforms that we're uploading all this content. It's real exciting that we were kind of just putting it all out there, putting all our chips on the table this year. Maul, homie, thank you so much for joining us as always. We look forward to seeing you hopefully frequently this season.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite as always, and I'm excited to be back for season 3.
I know, it's crazy. We're up to 63 episodes.
Yeah.
This is episode 63. Wild. So there's we'll probably get up to 100 next season.
Next season.
We'll hit 100 next year, which is wild.
And the crazy thing is, if you missed any of those episodes, go back and listen to them. They're all there.
They're all there. All of them. All on YouTube.
There's some great conversations in those.
Oh, yeah.
Episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially the ones with my grandma.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Really good ones.
And there's
I know we
plenty
talk
of
about
grandma.
her every week.
There's plenty of grandma to go around for the first 2 seasons. That is for sure.
Back when she'd spy from my door.
I know, just leaning in.
Randomly talk at me. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Let me take my headphones off so I can hear what you're saying.
All the time, we're like, just pull up a chair. Like,
be
and
here finally, with us. She's like, are you sure they're not going to mind my grandma? They're the ones that said to tell you to come sit the fuck down. Come sit the fuck down.
Woman.
And I'm thankful because if it wasn't for grandma's guest appearances, you guys wouldn't have had me here and realized that having a fourth is not too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
There you go.
As always, we love you guys. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
being here with us. As I always end the show, peace, love, puss suitor. And until we see you mother puckers again in the face-off circle, have a good night.
Good night.
Or day, or whatever time of it.
Or whatever.
Have a good whatever it is.
Have a good.
Have a good.
Have a nice.